Good afternoon. Um, I'm happy to be here with our string ensemble this year, and we have two seniors in our group. We have Juliet Caracera, who has played first and second violin at times when we needed her. And we have Nathaniel, who also plays violin and viola, and will be playing viola today. So they both chose two songs that they liked that we did from this year, and I'm going to let them introduce them.
So the first song that we'll be playing for you this evening is entitled Count Your Blessings. And as we perform or bring you this piece, I want you to think in your own mind, how often do you count your blessings? Do you take the things that God gives you every day, like life and health and strength, do you take those things for granted? Or do you realize that life is just a fleeting moment and that every day you wake up, you have a new blessing to give thanks to God? So I'd like to encourage you to think about that as we play for you now, Count Your Blessings. Second song that we'll be bringing to you this evening is known as Be Thou My Vision. And as we play this one, I want you to think to yourselves, oftentimes as we go throughout our life, it's easy to be distracted by the things of this world, the technology, different things like coronavirus is a more current example. But it's always important to keep God in your line of vision. Oftentimes I think in the past, maybe some of us here remember those days, of when they had a horse and carriage, and what would they put on the horses oftentimes? Blinders. And what was the purpose of those blinders? It was basically to keep them from being distracted so that they could focus on the way that they were supposed to go. So I want to encourage you this evening to kind of put on your spiritual blinders, not to be distracted by the things that we see in the world, good or bad, whatever they might be. Oftentimes it's bad, I guess. But to always keep God as your main focus. Be thou my vision.
We really have appreciated Nathaniel being with us this year as a senior. And thank you, Nathaniel. We will miss you. Juliet is going to introduce the pieces she chose.
I am? Okay. Okay, so my reasons are not quite as deep as Nathaniel's were for his favorites, but my first favorite is called I Vow to Thee My Country, and I personally like this, or I chose this song because like this song reminds me of OA. I had never heard the hymn I Vow to Thee My Country before I went to OA, and this specific arrangement I had found on YouTube. And without even knowing it, my brother was like, "Oh, we play that song at OA." So this song, we're going to do it second. Okay, so this song just is really beautiful, and it's really fun to play, and that's why I picked it. Okay. Okay, so the second song I chose is called Poor Wayfaring Stranger. And I don't even know the words to this song, but the melody alone is quite somber and melodious and beautiful. And so that's why I chose it, because even without knowing the words, the song itself is telling a story. So, yeah.
So for our program, I guess the bells have kind of done it a little bit differently. we kind of took a poll as to what were the top songs from what we did this year. And then I asked the seniors what were the top songs that they did from the time that they've been in bell choir. So we have 5 songs to share with you this evening, and then 1 when we go back over to the academy. So the first, well, no, I didn't put them in that order, so we won't say that. But the first one is a Christmas song. It's one that they appreciate from other years, because unfortunately this year we had no Christmas concerts because everybody went home between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we did online school during that time. So there was no Christmas concerts. So we wanted to do something with Christmas. And I want to dedicate this song. I'm going to be dedicating each one to a senior. So I want to dedicate this song to Juliet. And I have really appreciated Juliet in bell choir and her enthusiasm for bell choir and her out-of-the-box thinking. And it's kind of a little bit out of the box to play a Christmas song at graduation. So that's why I wanted to dedicate this one to her. And let her know that it's not always bad to be outside the box, but inside the box is not too bad either. So if you would turn to hymn number 85 in your hymnals, we are going to play the hymn, Eternal Father, Strong to Save. And I want to dedicate this particular piece tonight to Nathaniel. Nathaniel has been in bell choir 3 years or two? 2 years. And he has been a great bass player. And this particular arrangement of this hymn kind of, I guess you would say, showcases the bass a little bit. So I wanted to dedicate it to him and let you read the words as we play. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave. It is talking about on the sea, but metaphorically, it can be any challenge that we face. He is the Father strong to save. The next one we would like to share is Before the Throne of God. This year, for our Student Week of Prayer, this was our theme song that we sang every evening. The blessedness of being able to come before God and know that He hears and answers prayer. And God always has people in the right place at the right time. Have you ever noticed that God's timing is perfect? It's never too soon and it's never too late. And sometimes it's not soon enough, or we feel like it's not soon enough. And I want to dedicate this song to Elga, because Elga was the bell ringer in the right place at the right time. When we went to Cuba, we had one of our bell ringers who couldn't go. And Elga, God brought their family here, and she already had bell experience. In fact, I like to put her at the top. I'm not sure she always likes to be at the top, because I give her then, 5, 6, 7, 8 bells. She plays on her, her hands and her toes. Not quite. Not quite. But I'm thankful for her. She's been in bell choir for 2.5 years. So Before the Throne of God. was going to share with you a few of the words from our next piece. You may be familiar with this hymn. I was not really before we did it in the bell choir. It is in your hymnal, but I did not get it looked up to know the number. The name of the song is Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven. Praise my soul, the King of Heaven. To his feet your tribute bring. Ransomed, healed, restored, forgiven. Who like you his praise should sing? Alleluia, alleluia. Praise the everlasting King. Number 4. Thank you. Number 4. And I want to dedicate this song to Christy, just because it makes me think of Christy and what God has done in her life. And I really appreciate Christy. I'm so thankful that she's been in bell choir. She's been in bell choir for, where is she? 3 years? 3 years. And it's been a real blessing. So praise my soul, the King of Heaven. our last piece that we'll share with you this evening is a piece called Celebration Fanfare. And if you've been in bell choir before, you know it's a favorite through the years. We did this in Cuba. And I want to dedicate this piece to Angela. Angela has been in bell choir 3 years? 2 years? I can't keep track between the 2s and the 3s. 2 years. And I appreciate her enthusiasm. She's often up there during song service, ringing bells. And this is a very enthusiastic song. And it's about celebration. As far as I know, there's no words to it. But tonight, we're having a celebration. And our celebration is more than matched in the heavenly courts. When somebody gives their heart to the Lord, there is rejoicing, we're told, in heaven. So this piece, with this piece, we want to segue from our musical concert into our baptism celebration fanfare.